The next company is NICES Finance Services Co.
We welcome you to NICES Finance Services Co. Limited, which specializes in urban infrastructure financing and asset management. For over a decade, we have transformed India's urban landscape, empowering growth with custom designed cutting edge financial solutions. Operating under the trusted NIFCO brand, we specialize in identifying and investing in attractive, high yield opportunities. At NIFCO, we believe in curating structured investments that drive growth, innovation, and sustainability. With an AUM of over rupees 1000 crore, we utilize our deep expertise and data driven insights to deliver superior risk adjusted returns to our stakeholders. Our core business focuses on two verticals: fund and asset management and transaction advisory services. We manage high performance funds investing in the residential, commercial, and industrial real estate sectors, creating impactful financial solutions for the industry today. NICES Finance Services Co. Limited is led by our Managing Director, Mr. Amit Anil Goenka, and Executive Director, Mrs. Mridula Amit Goenka, who have over 15 years of combined experience in real estate financing. Mr. Amit Goenka is an engineer MBA from the USA who oversees fundraising and deployment, while Mrs. Mridula Goenka is a CA who manages finance and taxation. With a presence in key emerging global financial hubs, including Mumbai, Gift City, and Dubai, we are poised to capitalize on global private capital and international alternate investment opportunities, expanding and enhancing our portfolio's horizons, strength, and resilience. We have been honored by prestigious institutions from Naredco to RICS to the UAE's CEO Club Network for our contribution to real estate finance in emerging markets. We remain committed to delivering above normal value to investors while ensuring robust governance and a transparent, client focused approach. NICES Finance Services Co. Limited, financing the future today.
Good morning, everyone. नमस्कार, जय जिनेंद्र और मुंबई में आए तो जय महाराष्ट्र. So welcome everyone to NICES Finance Services Co. Limited that we call NIFCO. NICES Finance, how many people know what is NICES Finance? कोई है यहाँ जो जानता है हमारे बारे में? Thank you so much. So for those who are not initiated into the journey that we have charted over the last 10-11 years, NICES Finance is very simple. जब हमने 2012 में हमारी जर्नी शुरू की थी या 13 में शुरू की थी तो वी सेड कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्तु मा फलेषु कदाचन, अपना कर्म करो and the outcomes will follow. And obviously 2024-25 has been one of the most pivotal years in our journey when we've transformed ourselves to one of the leading asset managers in the urban infra space in emerging markets, both in India as well as in the GCC. तो NICES Finance करता क्या है? NICES Finance का बहुत सिंपल उद्देश्य है. When India is building itself to be an urban country, जब हम top 2, top 3 economies की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, तो that cannot happen without urban infrastructure. The government has already got a very large outlay of capital to build ports, roads, airports, and other core infrastructure. But what happens around that is really where the urbanization happens. When you have close to another 30 crore people who are likely to become urban or move from villages to cities, you will need that development. You will need housing, you will need offices, you will need malls, healthcare, data centers, industrial centers, etc. तो उसके लिए आपको काफ़ी बड़ी धनराशि की ज़रूरत होगी, which cannot be financed by government. It is private capital. So far, private capital has been largely led by foreign investors since 2005. तो जब पहला रीट आया तो 90% ऑफ द रीट वो सब्सक्राइब बाय फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स. हाल ही में नॉलेज रियलिटी ट्रस्ट का रीट आया था. किसी को पता है नॉलेज रियलिटी ट्रस्ट का रीट आया था अभी हाल ही में, राइट? वेरी गुड. सो 95% वो डोमेस्टिक इन्वेस्टर्स. तो आज हमारा जो कैपिटल बेस है ना वो इंडियन हो गया है. मेड इन इंडिया, मेड फॉर इंडिया, मेड बाय इंडिया. हमारी धनराशि, हमारा देश और हमारे एसेट्स. We're no longer depending on foreign capital so much. And that was the basic idea that we started with NICES Finance कि India तो हम ही बनाएंगे. We don't need necessarily foreign investors and foreign developers to create our cities for ourselves. So that was the basic idea. And therefore, obviously institutions need to expand. They need to expand their capability to be able to finance that development. अगले 2 साल में हमको 6 से 7 लाख करोड़ की तो इमीडिएट रिक्वायरमेंट है टू डू द करंट डेवलपमेंट अक्रॉस अ मेजर सिटीज़. वी डू नॉट हैव ऑल दैट कैपिटल. We have less than half of it. So the demand for capital is very large, but also the supply of capital is very large. Because if India is accelerating at 6-7% GDP growth rate, and we are poised to become the third largest economy in the world, obviously global capital wants to invest in India. तो कहाँ जाएगा, कैसे जाएगा? How will it access our cities? How will it access the investment opportunities across the urban infrastructure landscape? When they want to invest into all of these asset classes, data centers, warehousing, commercial, retail, hospitality, housing, they have to come to managers like ourselves. So today we are one of the top players in our space. एक ज़माना था जब बहुत ज़्यादा लोग थे, बहुत सारी NBFCs थी. Today you know the NBFC environment has shrunk. There are hardly a handful of players. So today we have a very unique opportunity जहाँ पे कैपिटल डिमांड बहुत ज़बरदस्त है, कैपिटल सप्लाई बहुत ज़बरदस्त है, मगर उसके बीच का जो ब्रिज है ना, हु इज़ गोइंग टू टेक दिस कैपिटल, हु इज़ गोइंग टू डिप्लॉय, इज़ अ वेरी स्मॉल ब्रिज एंड वी आर वन ऑफ दोज ब्रिजेस, है ना. तो 2 या 3-4 ब्रिजेस हैं जिसको आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं. तो विच मीन्स द अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर अस टू बिकम वेरी लार्ज इज़ वेरी लार्ज. Okay, so that's the opportunity, and competition is really not there. So obviously we are a urban infrastructure financing and private capital market transactions group. We operate under what we call as the NIFCO brand. We have two, आपने देखा वीडियो में, we have 2 verticals, investments and advisory. And both of them obviously have a very deep expertise across emerging markets. So not only are we in the major cities of India, but we know India बन रहा है भारत से. You know, so we are obviously in Indore, we have gone to Surat, we are going to, we're going to Nagpur, we are going to the urban cities of India, the upcoming urban cities of India, because that's where the growth is the highest. जब एक समृद्धि एक्सप्रेस वे बनता है तो नासिक, नागपुर और बाकी लोगों का डेवलपमेंट बहुत हाई स्पीड पे चल रहा है. Likewise, when you have the DMIC corridor, you have the coastal road, you have all the infra developments that are happening in India. क्लियरली द पेस ऑफ ग्रोथ इज़ वेरी हाई. जब नवी मुंबई एयरपोर्ट आ रहा है तो अगर वहाँ पे अगर 1 लाख करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में, तो वहीं पे 25,000 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा इन डेवलपिंग द सिटी अराउंड नवी मुंबई एयरपोर्ट. सो दैट इज़ रियली व्हेन नाइसिस फाइनेंस कम्स इन. We have multiple funds to cater to these opportunities. So India में we have a standard credit fund, which is opportunities fund. We have a real estate special situations or a special opportunities fund. We have a performance fund, and we have a UAE fund, which focuses on GCC and Dubai markets. उसके अलावा हम ट्रांजैक्शन एडवाइजरी क्यों करते हैं? बिकॉज सिर्फ पैसे से काम नहीं बनता है. यू नो, टुडे देयर आर डेवलपमेंट कंपनीज, देयर आर एसेट ओनर्स, लैंड बैंकर्स. बोलते हैं अभी करना क्या है, पैसे तो लगेंगे मगर फाइनली करना क्या है? हाउ डू वी डील विद दिस एंटायर एसेट क्लास? हाउ डू वी स्केल? सो दैट्स व्हेन एडवाइजरी कम्स इन, सेइंग ओके, लेट्स क्रिएट अ बिजनेस प्लान ऑन हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू मोनेटाइज. आपके पास 100 एकड़ का लैंड बैंक है, आप 100 एकड़ एक साथ नहीं बना पाएंगे, 20 एकड़ का डेवलपमेंट करें, वी विल फाइनेंस इट. 80 एकर्स यू मोनेटाइज इट, वी विल हेल्प यू मोनेटाइज दैट एसेट. सो दैट जनरेट्स कैश फ्लोज दैट सप्लीमेंट्स योर existing development along with our money. So it's a very large integrated model between advisory and capital, and that is very unique. You have to understand that, because अगर हम अपने peer groups को देखें, अगर हमारे peer groups देखें तो इंडिया में कौन है? You know, कोटक है, HDFC है, you know, some of the major banks, you know, 2 or 3 banks, and then there is the likes of ASK or Motilal, etc., and then we are us. But you know what we have realized, that सिर्फ capital is not the solution. You just can't be an ATM. You have to know how to operate the asset class. You have to know how to extract your returns. You have to know how to advise your counterparty so that they create efficiencies. तो आज जब developers IPO में जाते हैं तो उनको इतनी जमा, they need a very large capital base. It's a capital intensive business. But when they do that, they're not necessarily geared to understand what is happening pan-India. What are the templates which various other developers or other asset owners are following, which we understand. आज अगर आज हमने 80-90 डेवलपर्स को फाइनेंस किया है पैन इंडिया, और उसके चक्कर में हमने 8,000 डेवलपर्स को स्टडी किया है, यू नो, कमर्शियल, रेसिडेंशियल, हॉस्पिटैलिटी, हेल्थ केयर, डेटा सेंटर्स. वी नो एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इज हैपनिंग पैन इंडिया, एंड दैट इज़ द एडवाइस, दैट इज़ द सपोर्ट दैट वी प्रोवाइड टू आवर डेवलपमेंट पार्टनर्स. तो ये बहुत बड़ा वैल्यू एडिशन है. तो जितने हम इन्वेस्टमेंट्स करते हैं उस इन्वेस्टी कंपनीज को हम एडवाइस भी करते हैं हाउ टू मोनेटाइज एंड ग्रो, विच इज़ वाई ट्रांजैक्शन एडवाइजरी इज़ अ फंक्शन ऑफ द टॉप लाइन, not of the capital invested. तो अगर आप 1,000 करोड़ का प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हो और we are advising you on 1,000 crores, our revenue is based on that. We may be investing only 100 crore rupees in that project. So the fee from the investment comes from the capital employed, whereas the fee from advisory comes from your total revenue, your total potential of your asset base. So which is why those ratios are, you know, almost 60-40, 65-35. So twin engine, very, very interesting. And very few people actually understood this. So Brookfield was one of the few people. Anybody knows Brookfield? No, one of the largest Canadian investors, right? So when they bought Leela Hotels, it was advised by Brookfield advisors. So they scout for the opportunities that the investment manager can put. They've also helped them divest. So when Leela went public, it was also part of the advisory mandate. So now there is an opportunity to source, there's an opportunity to divest, there's an opportunity to syndicate. तो ये कौन करेगा? या तो आप थर्ड पार्टी मैनेजर्स पे डिपेंड करें, मर्चेंट बैंकर्स, इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकर्स, और यू डू इट योर सेल्फ बिकॉज यू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू पुट द एंटायर सप्लाई चेन टुगेदर, वेयर देन द इन्वेस्टमेंट टीम कैन गो ahead and invest, right? So that's really one of the templates for us. Brookfield and Blackstone are the largest alternate managers in the country. So that's very unique for us because nobody in India really understood this and has started to do this. We've been doing it for decades. Now let's talk about India and GCC. Everybody knows that India का जो 2047 अमृतकाल विजन है डेवलप्ड कंट्री का, उसमें अर्बन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज अ वेरी मेजर पार्ट. आज की तारीख में टुडे रियल एस्टेट इन इंडिया और द एंटायर एसेट क्लास इन इंडिया ऑफ ऑल अर्बन डेवलपमेंट इज अबाउट $350 billion. As per KPMG report, it will become $1 trillion by 2030. Today we are at about 7.5% of the GDP, that is urban infrastructure. By 2047, it will become 15% of the GDP, which is $5.5 trillion. तो जो ग्रोथ है दैट इज एक्स्ट्रॉर्डिनरी. और आप देख ही रहे हैं हर जगह रीडेवलपमेंट, डेवलपमेंट, wherever you go with new ports, new airports, new roads, there is massive development. Cities are getting built, urbanization happening at a very, very high pace. And I think that's really how the growth of the country. तो country grow कैसे होगा? Country बिना urban infrastructure के grow हो ही नहीं सकता. You cannot achieve 6-7% GDP growth rate without urbanization, without modern infrastructure, without modern assets. I mean, when you go to any international city, whether you go to Singapore or you go to Dubai, you will see that the engagement of the investors, of the business people happens with the city. है ना? So you're going to a partner, but you see, this is a place I want to live and work. That's very important. So obviously it's a very large opportunity set. We are talking of $5 trillion to be invested over the next 30 years. And so it's a very huge run-up available for us. Likewise, अगर हम सब यूएई का बात करें तो इट्स अ वेरी यूनिक सिचुएशन. आज अगर हम $350 billion का एसेट बेस है इंडिया में, तो यूएई ऑलरेडी $650 billion पर है. A small country is 2x of India. India real estate and urban. You go and see how many hotels are there. बॉम्बे में आपको 10 hotels 5 star नहीं मिलेंगे, वहाँ पे आपको एक छोटे शहर में 50 5 star होटल मिलेंगे. That is the scale at which that city is growing. So, and the unique part is that nobody thought कि अरे Indian managers or Indian companies can actually operate internationally as financial services. How many people can think of Indian financial services or banking which have a major play outside of India? Anybody can give an example? Indian BFSI company, insurance, banking, mutual fund, asset management, India based, which has expanded internationally. Anybody has an example? I would love to know. मुझे नहीं दिखता. ब्रांच होगा, कोई छोटा सा आउटलेट होगा, बट इंटरनेशनल इन्वेस्टर्स तो इंडिया में आ गए, इंटरनेशनल एएमसीज तो इंडिया में आ गए, ब्लैकस्टोन, ब्लैक रॉक, मेरिल, सब आ गए. तो जब इंटरनेशनल ऑडियंस इंडिया में काम कर सकती है तो इंडिया मैनेजर बाहर जाके क्यों नहीं कर सकता है? Why are we limiting ourselves? Because today what templates we have, the regulatory framework we have, the maturity we have, the financial prowess we have, the kind of acumen we have as investors out here, उन लोग को समझ ही नहीं आता है कि जब GFC हो गया तो हम कैसे बच गए, पूरी दुनिया मर गई, पर इंडिया को फर्क नहीं पड़ा. 2007 में, anybody remember 2008 global financial crisis? India did not get affected. Everybody was sunk. 10 साल लग गया इकोनॉमी को निकलने से. US को, UAE को, every other country, Europe को take 10 years to revive. India 1.5 साल में was again kicking, into full gear. So that is the position that India has as an economy, as a regulated environment, which we are taking to the world. Very, very huge. We are the first managers in the UAE. आज तक UAE ने किसी ने फंड नहीं चालू किया है, म्यूचुअल फंड नहीं है उधर. इतना बड़ा मार्केट, इतने सारे इन्वेस्टर्स, दुनिया भर के इन्वेस्टर आते हैं, म्यूचुअल फंड नहीं है, इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज नहीं है, एसेट मैनेजर्स नहीं है. वो आर द फर्स्ट पीपल टू गो देयर एंड से अरे भाई मेक इन इंडिया है, नाउ इट इज नाउ फॉर द वर्ल्ड. वेरी वेरी यूनिक. सो वी हैव निफ्को फर्स्ट. हम जो करते हैं वी आर ब्लू ओशन. मार्केट का कमी नहीं है, वी कैन गो एज लार्ज एज वी वांट, एज लार्ज एज वी वांट. सो वी आर द फर्स्ट लिस्टेड AIF मैनेजर. सो हु आर आवर पीयर्स ग्लोबली? इंडिया में तो अभी कॉम्पिटिशन आया ही नहीं हमारे लिए. So but internationally Blackstone is listed, Brookfield is listed, KKR is listed. That is the model. That is the model where global managers who are managing $600-700 billion are listed because governance वहीं से शुरू होता है. So we're the first listed manager, and there are 2, 3 others, some alternative advisors are trying to get listed, in line with what we've done. Special situations, solving India's problem. Solving India's problem. So we are the first people who know how to solve the capital solutions. We have a very innovative asset class. We have very innovative products, and we're leading it now by digital revolution. Tokenization. NFTs, not bitcoins, but NFTs tokenization. Very, very large asset class. We understand that. Because of which we have created a very huge alpha in our favor. Okay, so obviously the growth that we are charting is only a small reflection of the opportunity set. Because the opportunity is very large. आज अगर हम 1600-1700 करोड़ मैनेज करते हैं, तो our peers in India in last 7 years have grown from 2,000 crores. One of my immediate peers, in 2019 he was 2,000 crores of AUM. Today he is at 60,000 crores. Okay, and the margins are not even close to what we make. So the runway for us is so large, कि अभी तो we have just started our journey. So this is really a reflection of the journey that lies ahead of us. When we are showing in this quarter, we showed a 91% growth year on year, 83% year on growth on EBITDA, and 100% PAT growth. And PAT growth इतना high क्यों है? Because UAE में टैक्स ही नहीं लग रहा भैया हमको. 9% टैक्स कॉर्पोरेशन दे रहे हैं, गिफ्ट सिटी में 0 टैक्स है, पूरा इनकम इंडिया में आता है, इफेक्टिव टैक्स रेट 16% हो गया है हमारा आज, जो 30% था, तो सीधा पैट पे जा रहा है. सो ऑब्वियसली आर ROEs, our ROCs, and our EBITDA margins are very healthy, which is what makes us again very unique, because high alpha, low cost base, low gearing ratio, and very high revenue, low cost. So obviously it is all flowing to PAT. So obviously very agile leadership. Very proud to say that we are one of the only companies, one of the few companies in India who are great places to work. GPTW certified. Human capital, boss. At the end of the day, you need the best people to run your businesses. And obviously each of our strategies have delivered outperforming results, because of which global capital is coming to us in hordes. Local capital is coming to us कि भैया इतना बढ़िया काम 10 साल 12 साल से कर रहे हो, इतने हाई रिटर्न दे रहे हो, हमारा भी पैसा लगाओ. Across our products, across our geographies, across our strategies. So obviously the capital flow is very high, the demand for capital is very high. We are that bridge which is running at full steam. That bridge is getting choked. We are expanding ourselves so that we can handle more traffic. Obviously, tailwinds in our favor. India growth story, urbanization story, talked about it. Growth of real estate sector, I talked about it. Private credit, everybody knows private credit is growing at a crazy speed. AIF is growing faster than mutual funds. Mutual funds are growing at 13-14%. AIF is growing at 35-40%. Obviously, AIF industry is very large. We are one of the leaders in our AIF space. Okay, so again, the growth story for AIF in general is very hard. How are we seeing ourselves? We're seeing ourselves कि बस अभी journey start हुई है. We have got large blue oceans to capture. There are no competition really to worry about. Today we are looking at almost about 1,600 growing to potentially 4,000 crores conservatively this year. And obviously correspondingly the revenue to AUM ratio will be maintained. So we are looking at a reasonably good growth in terms of numbers, in terms of top line, in terms of bottom line, and in terms of margins. So obviously now to supplement that, we said now let's add more strategic capability. Let's acquire India's largest and oldest construction company. So we've ended up acquiring NCCL. You would have read about it. Okay, so that's a new acquisition. It supplements our strategic intent. It's not that it's not been done in the past. Backward and forward integration. When you're providing capital and you can help complete projects, you are in a very different ecosystem. The power of conversion, the power of margins, the power of outcomes becomes so much solid in your hands. So obviously our ability to have a construction company back the capital that is working with projects becomes very unique for us. Obviously, because of the work we've done, we've been recognized enough and more. And we're very thankful for that. So guys, friends, bhai aur behno, I think I'm very privileged to be standing here, and I'm very thankful that Nitin invited us here this morning to talk to you. We believe that the journey for India has just started. Today, India is poised in a very strategic position in a geopolitical landscape. A lot of capital is coming to India, because of which India's growth story is very large. A lot of capital is also going to emerging markets like the UAE, which is also a very strong story. We have this twin model between India and emerging markets like the GCC. Plus, we have got another twin model, which is advisory and asset management. So this four frame of advisory and economies is creating a very huge momentum in our favor. And because there's nobody who can do this so far, so competition really doesn't exist. The scale at which we can grow is only a function of time. right? Because you cannot eat, you can produce, tons and tons of food, but you can't consume it overnight, right? You'll have to obviously have the logistics and supply chain to even distribute it. So we are building that, we're growing very fast. We have the teams, we have the capabilities, we have a perfect storm in our favor, and that's really where we are very thankful for. We are in the right place at the right time with the right people, with the right investors, with the family that we have amongst us. And with this family together, I'm joined by my wife, who's an executive director, chartered accountant, who's been with this journey from the inception. She brings together, we have Manish Meena, an IIM graduate, who's been an integral part of this journey and brings together the strategy, the vision, and the execution capabilities together as an integrated framework. So with that, I'll open the floor for audience questions. Thank you.
The floor is open for Q&A.
Anand bhai, I'm sure you have questions for me. No?
Any questions so far? Yes, sir, you can come here.
Hi, Mr. Goenka. Big
Hi.
fan of the way you articulate the business. I'm an individual investor. My name is Suman Kumar,
Hi, Suman.
and I'm invested into NISES.
Thank you.
So, a couple of questions. First is just wanted to understand the process of revenue recognition, especially the AUM side of the business, because advisory is something which is very clear, right? So that is one. Secondly, I was attending one of the con call, and there we saw that Q4 business was a little subdued, and you attributed it to geopolitical headwinds that you saw. So, given the fact that we have certain aspiration in terms of some 4,000 crore kind of AUM, I think in FY 26 or 27, currently we are at 1,500 crore. How do you see this bridging the gap between 4,000 to 1,500 crore? Do you think that we are going at the pace that we would aspire to expand our AUM?
Thank you, Suman.
Yeah.
See, I gave you a small example of a peer who I admire a lot, by the way, because they're a very good company, who moved from 2,000 crores in 2018 to about 60,000 crores by 2024, right? So, and that is in the period where there was maximum turmoil. We were going through COVID, GFC, demon, so many other issues. So the opportunity now, when we are at an inflection point as a country, where we're not worried about geopolitical pressures, we are now becoming the third largest economy in the world. The capital flows are immense. Today, global investors from Japan, from Canada, from US, from many parts of Europe are today looking and knocking on Indian doors and pouring in capital. That wasn't the case 6-7 years ago so much. So, capital is there. Now, deployment and AUM growth. Demand is also there. Okay, so today when I talk about 6 lakh crore rupees which need to be invested in the next 2 years, okay, so 2,000-3,000 crores of AUM is a very small number. But at the same time, Suman, we have to be very careful because we are a fiduciary agent. Okay, so if we believe that there is volatility in a market, for example, government change in Karnataka, and Bangalore is one of the biggest markets when it comes to office and residential in terms of growth. Office though definitely largest. Today we have 90 million square feet. India is the largest office market in the world. We were doing 60 million square feet of net absorption last year. This year we're going to 90 million square feet. Look, all of US and Europe put together, we're doing more than that in India. But if the government has changed and now for 1 year there are no approvals coming, I'm not going to rush in with my capital, right? I have to pace it. I have to go with the players who have the approvals ready, who have the ability to start and finish and complete it in time. So it's very important that while AUM growth is important, but risk mitigation and risk management is even more important. See, growth trajectory is there. In 1 quarter, we will slow down a bit. We will wait. Some changes are happening. Trump economics is affecting the country. But we lived the Trump era effectively only for 1 quarter. The markets went into a bloodbath only from 1 quarter. Engines have started revving up again. So, in a journey that we've seen for 12 years as NISES Finance, there have been years and quarters when things could have been slow. We never expected COVID. We never expected insolvency to hit the industry so hard. And companies going into insolvency year after year. But fortunately, we were prepared. We did not have any of those issues in our portfolio. None of the companies that we've invested face any of these headwinds. So it's very important to curate your asset class. Otherwise, when you have a bad portfolio, your journey is over. If you're a bad manager, your journey is over. If you're a bad producer, your journey is over. So the journey needs to continue. Now, will it continue at 100% or 50%? Can be anybody's guess. Okay? Given the runaway, I can grow at more than 100%. But if I'm conservative, I'm happy growing at even 50% because I'm still growing at a very, very fast pace. My margins are still very heavy. And that's important, right? Because compared to my peers who are growing at 10, 15, 20%, I'm still 2, 3x of them, even at 50%. So I'm not so worried so much about 1 or 2 quarters because we have to be very careful about what the global geopolitical environment, which will play out and get over in a short period of time. In the Middle East, there was extraordinary concern about the Gaza conflict. Ki was jana hai ki nahi jana hai, the whole region. About 2 months ago, flights were stopped to pass through the GCC region. People had to go around. It lasted for a couple of months. So some quarters will have these, these idiosyncrasies, these little bit of bursts, which is okay. But it plays out. It plays over. Because fundamentally, India and the UAE or the GCC is superiorly strong in terms of growth. Nothing is going to stop it. 1 quarter or some period here and there may happen. We will deal with it and we'll move on and we'll continue a growth journey. So I'm not worried. Without a doubt. See, as of today, I don't foresee anything in the next 6-7 months which will stop us from getting there. Because my pipeline is, and when I say pipeline, these are committed transactions. I've committed transactions of almost 1,600 crores in the UAE, identified 4 buildings. I've committed transactions of another 1,000 crores in India, which is committed capital. So I have anyway 2,500 crore rupees, apart from 1,500 crores, already before the end of H1, which I have in the visibility of closure. So how much resistance can there be to achieving that? I don't see it as a big deal. But even if, for example, you miss it, the margins and the growth is still tectonic. So I am not going to say that, boss, if I don't do 100% growth, I'm not performing. Because even at 50-60% growth, we're 2-3 times of our peers. And that's the journey will continue.
And how about revenue recognition, sir, especially for
Yeah,
the
you
fund
asked
which
about
is
revenue recognition.
RESO 1,
Yeah. So
wherein you take stake or equity in a business.
Correct. So there's no accrual method. I am not booking my carry or my profit share at all. Whatever is being booked is being collected. And whatever is collected is booked. If I am earning my 2% or 3% on my AUM, which is being deducted from my cash, from my receipts, in my fund receipts every month or every quarter, that is what is going in my books. So effectively, my receivables outstanding is only to the extent of my advisory income, which comes over quarters. So when I deliver an advisory mandate and I say, okay, I've entered you into a joint venture agreement, nobody who's taken over a project from one of my investee companies is going to pay me upfront. ये 5 crore पकड़ो दे से वो 1.5 crore करके 6 महीने में आएगा. So that is where the receivables lie. So all the receivables sitting are actually collected receivables. It's all on actuals. What is due and payable today? What is going to accrue to me in 26, 27, 28 when my fund matures and exits is a very large number. But that will hit in that year.
No, sorry, the reason why I asked is, in case of AUM, it is certain IRR that you commit to your investors. So, and if you are taking an equity in certain projects, does it mean that for every unit sold, there are some gains and that?
AUM, every AMC runs on management fees. Whether a mutual fund, whether an alternatives fund, runs on management fee, which is a function of the AUM and deployed capital. So if I have deployed 4,000 crores, I'm going to collect 2% or 80 crore rupees just from my AUM. Irrespective, equity hai, debt hai, IRR kitna aa raha hai, nahi aa raha hai, is irrelevant. My money is secured. My cash flow is secured. Because even if it earns 2% return, that first 2% is mine.
Oh, okay.
Very clear. Because waterfall is clear. If the manager doesn't get paid, who's going to manage the portfolio?
And finally, sir, what is, can you help understand the recent acquisition that you did of NCCL, right? So,
Yeah.
What is the role that you have and how does it play out going ahead?
You see, it's a very interesting situation and we are very fortunate, by the way. It's very hard to find a company like that. 78 years of track record, 1946. Oldest construction company, has helped the likes of Prestige to become a developer. Prestige was not a developer. Before NCCC stepped in and said, we will construct, you become a developer. Okay, so you know what Prestige is for Bombay and for other markets. Now, that company which has such a large legacy, by the way, this was the company which was awarded the Dharavi redevelopment in 2018-19 along with Dubai Investment Authority, where DIA gave the CM $1 billion overnight saying, हमको award कर दिया, we are putting the money in your bank account, please start. Okay, whatever politics have it, today it is with somebody else, and the person who's now won it has actually invited them to help them finish it. So the strength of the company is extraordinary, but it does not have now promoter continuity. Okay, so promoters are 90 plus, they're saying you need somebody. Now, for us it's amazing, right? Because now when we are putting capital, what is the bottleneck is construction. Today there is 1.5 lakh crore rupees worth of contracts which are not getting awarded because there are no players only. There are 5 players, BL Kashyap, Aluwalia, Capacity, L&T, Shapurji. There's no, and NCCL. So today the choice is in the hands of the contractor कि क्या करना है, किसका order book लेना है और किसको खत्म. So AAA order book, fantastic opportunity to scale. Did not have a promoter face today as a strategic investor, and with the management buyout, it has got a new promoter energy. And therefore, the ability for this company to become 10x in 3 years is very simple. Capacity hai, opportunity hai, ab promoter push bhi hai. You know, so that's really where we stepped in. And for us, it's captive, yeah. Because if I put 4,000 crores in construction industry, 8,000 crore ka kaam chal raha hai, captively, which I can give to this company. So I'm just saying the scale for this company becomes a natural integrator. For us, it's a backward integration play. You know, so it's very obvious. So,
Amit,
how do I
we have
finish?
to stop here now.
Sure.
So please give the
Thank you.
team a warm applause. We have some very large family offices here. Chhattisgarh Investments from Raipur, Anand Sardaji, may I request you. Is Pranav here from RARE? दिख नहीं रहा है. Yeah, please come.